Hello and welcome to another episode of Never a Straight Answer, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics, from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm Gaz, and as always, we've got the Mr. Taylor in his house.
Hey, good evening. Are you alright there, Phil?
Yeah, man, I was just thinking, have you just taken my split?
Oh, I think that's mine.
No, we're alright, I think I've got mine. Right, sorry about that. Yeah, no, I think we're just getting a mix up in the fucking ashtray going on straight away.
No,
how's it going, man? Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. It's alright, I'm on cloud 9 at the minute.
Oh yeah, because he's been going on about it all night. He's not stopped.
Yeah,
he's been doing the Trump dance.
Yeah, so fucking out here, I'm getting an hard on for that fucker at the minute.
Why? What's the crack?
Well, he's...
To be honest, I can see he's a funny guy, mate. I like his tweets, but you know, I just don't get
I like the way he's like...
I like the way
like he gives it, and he actually does what he says.
Yeah, we've talked about this, haven't we? Like, he does seem to go out and do what he does, but...
But did you see him at the UN?
No, I totally missed it.
35 minutes long. You might think it's a bit of a boy. He had a little laugh at the beginning of it, actually, because he turned around and he said he may have changed a few things around the world at the minute, and they all laughed. They all started laughing at him.
Oh yeah, because he's kind of still seen as a bit of a joke, isn't he? Really?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the guy is like, I don't know, is he making enemies as well as he's making followers?
Yeah, but if you're in the business, you're going to get that anyway. There's going to be, vainness and
I suppose so.
people
And
who don't like you because
as well, especially if you've come into a position of office from not being an MP, you've not set out to be a politician.
Yeah.
So you're kind of laughing in the face of people who've made it a career choice.
They couldn't be asked to get off their ass and do it themselves, and someone else has got in that position, and they're grieving about it, but they need to look on themselves first.
Yeah, that's
well, if you didn't
true.
go for the position, what do you expect was going to fucking happen?
So is this
So basically, he's kicked some ass around Europe. He's basically he's turned around and told the nations what he thinks. Right. Absolutely.
So he's basically
lovely.
like that guy who basically just starts going, "You've got bad breath. You need to sort your hair cut out."
Basically,
I don't like the way you're standing.
Yeah. Basically, I'll tell you.
Take your hands out of your pockets.
Here's a few things that he said. I mean, if you can, go and watch it. It's only 35 minutes long. I know it might be you might think it's a waste of time, but like I've said before, he's the only person in the high authority who's actually doing things instead of saying something and actually not going by it.
Right, well, we'll stick a pin in that.
Well,
I don't mind the guy, but I mean, it's like you say,
people love him, and that's what he's there for. That's what the people want.
So, have any more news in regards to Mr. Donald Trump?
Well, let me give you a few items on what he was saying in the actual UN thing. Right. Well, basically, he told Iran, "You're never going to get nuclear weapons." That's why we broke down the agreement that Obama did with giving him like 25%.
Yeah, I vaguely heard something about this, and he was like saying about like not doing any trade with Iran.
Yeah, but he's going even more bang on to it, and he even turned around to the rest of the world and said, "And you all need to stop dealing with him as well."
Well, how can you? That's to
because
me. When I heard that story, I was kind of like, "Wow, how can you be so one-sided?" I mean, at the end of the day, Britain's got nuclear weapons, America's got nuclear weapons. So are we supposed to stop trading with people because they're packing heat?
We put an agreement that no other country would ever have nuclear weapons because it's too easy. Imagine all the countries having nuclear weapons.
Yeah, totally.
And then one of them just goes, right, you know what? With all these little wars, fuck it, I'm having it. Enough of us have got
them as it is. That's what I'm saying. So it's like we're okay to have them, but you're not allowed.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, basically.
That's what I'm getting at. It seems a bit like not one-sided, and I don't think anyone should have nuclear
But he's not
weapons.
against the people. This is the thing that people think he's against people. He's not against the people. He's against the government that's running it because they openly admitted they want to destroy the world.
Yeah, well,
they want nuclear weapons so they can easily do it, and it's all part of that kind of
global conspiracy. Of the one world order.
No, I wouldn't say it was one world new order. It's just a country.
It's just basically what I'd say.
North Korea.
It's like you get one foolhardy leader you know, you never know who's round the corner, and if that guy's a bit of a psychopath, then his fingers on the button.
Well, this is why Hitler wasn't assassinated, because if Hitler was assassinated in World War II,
there probably was some other guy who was a lot worse.
Could have been any of them. Yeah.
Well, I suppose as well they would have had it drilled into him as well. Whereas if it's one guy's ideology, then that's his ideology.
He could be the guy who's been putting on the brakes.
If he's kind of drilling that into his followers, then they're going to be a bit more fundamentalist than him, I suppose.
Yeah. And some of them are going to go that engrossed into it because, like, the years that he's around in them, and they're like, you're precious to us and stuff like that. Then they're going to go even madder if something happens to him.
Definitely, I totally agree with that.
What else? He went with China. Like he was talking about the reason why he's done it, because like thousands of their factories have been shut down and stuff like that, all because of an agreement. And they were losing money, and they were getting a hell of a lot of money back than America was.
Well, I think basically,
so he's looking after himself.
Our own countries should be producing as much stuff for their own country as possible. So it's like, if that makes American-made products more available than quality, then the same in England. I think if they're coming out of the Brexit means that we've got to open more factories and produce more in the country, then that's only a good thing.
Well, this is it. This is the only way we're going to get out of debt anyway. Every country. He said to Poland,
we'll make novelties.
Yeah.
Go on. Yeah.
So he said to Poland, you're doing good work because you're sorting out your gas as to being self-sufficient, so you don't have to trust Russia, because Russia's been, over the years, and I've watched this closely over the years. That's why Yugoslavia was taken and stuff like that, because they've got a pipeline through, and there's a big issue about it.
So what you're saying is Trump's had them all in for appraisal. He's come and said, here's your good points, here's your bad points. He'll pat on the back Poland.
Oh no! Well, he did. He recognised stuff was happening that's good for them and their country. So it was like wicked. So then he went to Germany next. Oh, he'd give them a shot.
Oh, Angela Merkel.
Well,
was she not having it?
Well, the people who stood there, you should have seen their faces. They were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's just said that." Basically, they've turned around and gone, "Right, Germany, you need to do what Poland's doing and get self-sufficient on your gas, or Russia's going to come in and take you over, and you need to start dealing with it now."
Well, we could say the same thing, because we get quite a lot of our gas pipes in from Russia as well. I mean,
we need to be self-sufficient. That's why I'm glad on Brexit. Brexit will give us the point to actually go self-sufficient.
Well, it's not a case of that, because they turn around and said at any point they could just turn that off.
Exactly.
Yeah. So. You know, I mean, we should be, but I mean,
it's a scandal how much money they get out of it.
Like I've said before, they shouldn't be working out how to be self-sufficient having a gas supply. They should be learning how to be self-sufficient with, I don't know, like other means of power.
Well, this is where the government needs to
means of power.
Future stuff on getting power. I mean, there's no point chopping down trees. I can see the reason.
British sea power.
Well, yeah, but it's one of them things, isn't it? And then he turned around and he said, the UN's human rights, the reason why we'll come out of it, because it's not fit for purpose.
Right, yeah. That
he basically told them. And then basically at the beginning of it, he said, look, I've spent this amount of money. I spent...
No, spunked, right?
Yeah.
I'd go with spunked.
Yeah. I spent more money on the actual economy, more money on the army, and more money on the banks and stuff like that. So we basically turned around and said, look, we used to all be friends, but now rules have changed. We are looking after ourselves first, and then you can have help later. I'm stopping a lot of the aid going in, which they were paying a massive amount.
Aren't they, at the moment?
But this is going to make the rest of the world going to have to. If they don't stand up and deal with this, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be a part of it, because we spent a certain amount of money. We spent I don't know, I think about 2% of GDP.
Get this trending.
It might end up being 10.
If you're a fan of the show, #spunked.
Spunked.
I want to see that trending.
Why not? Why not? But he really basically was doing it through his country and his countrymen, which he was put there to do. and he's doing, and he talks about Israel as well. The reason why he put
the guy's a businessman.
And he knows what he's doing, and he's doing the right thing.
He's doing, he's running it like he's a business.
I wish the other countries
if he was talking to like partners, then and he felt like his partners weren't delivering, then I assume
they weren't delivering. I'd admit like all the things that everyone's been talking about. He'd be like, right, okay.
Didn't he do The Apprentice?
Yeah.
Over in America.
Yeah, he did it for a lot. He did it for quite a number of years. He did it. He was the first one. Did it?
So was he a bit of a twat in that as well?
No, he seemed alright. No, he's straight down the point. Basically, straight down the point. Look, if you want to be a penguin, get a costume and be a fucking penguin. You know what I mean? As long as you ain't hurting anyone, everyone's happy and wealthy.
Do you know, I just got visions of Dick Van Dyke there waddling around. Yeah. Remember he's like in Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Mary Poppins.
That's seen that not long yet.
I know,
long time.
So where are we up to with this then?
So
basically he's gone into the UN.
Have a look. It's good. It's good. It's making me have a fucking. I'll tell you what. I'd put my kids in his mouth if he wanted me to.
Oh my God! Well,
that's how far I'd go. But only once. I'm not a dirty bitch.
For
only once.
If ever I heard one.
Yeah. And only once.
If you'd like to take, if you're listening and you'd like to take him up on that offer, then
females only, please.
No, you've just said you'd let.
No, only Trump, because I've got such an hard-on for him at the minute.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean? I've got a man crush at the minute with him.
He's a bromance.
I have, because I can't stress so much that he's a man who, he might be a dick outside, but he's doing what he's saying he's doing, and he's doing what the people want him to do, not what they want to do.
It's fair enough.
You know what I mean?
If that's what you're.
Yeah, I'm proper strong on it. Yeah, because
you see, like I say, it's one of them for me. It's like, in terms of politics,
wanting to be our prime minister.
You want him to be our prime minister?
Yeah. At the moment, I do.
I kind of wanted him to win when he was running, because it was like somebody different, somebody who'd had fresh ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's doing a bad job.
You know what? Over the last 20 years, he's done a better job.
To be fair,
less than 2 years
how many
the
presidents have there been where you've been looking at him and thinking, what the hell is going on here? Well, these guys couldn't find fucking. Couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery.
They can't really. They're all too busy sat down talking bullshit about bullshit and getting fucking paid a big handsome sum for it.
Well, we're sat here talking bullshit about bullshit.
Yeah, but we're not getting a big handsome sum for it, though. That's the difference.
Then we could talk.
I'll put the world to rights if I have to, but I'd rather the people do it.
Well,
that's what they're there for.
Take
your rights back, people.
A bit of a weird story here. Yeah. Have you ever heard of the Beast of Cumbria?
No.
Well, there's loads of these beast myths, isn't there? Like, the Beast of Bodmin. They're usually kind of like large cat sightings.
In the 90s, I remember in the 90s there was quite a number of photos and that, but there was quite a lot of hoaxes because they had the camera. They did it where, you would close up and it looked far away and it wasn't. Apparently, but there was a few good ones.
I've seen a couple of memes as well where they've said the big cat spotted and then it was just someone's house cat. Yeah. Well, big cats were all the rage in the 70s. Yeah. So basically, what was happening was people were buying like big panthers, pumas. Yeah.
I remember someone round Glossop who had a crocodile.
Really?
A crocodile.
I remember a sort of friend of the family when I was a kid in the 80s having like an Apuche monkey.
Yeah, and
right, just running around the house.
He had a monkey.
Crazy.
He had a spider monkey.
I mean, obviously there's restrictions on exotic animals these
days.
Yeah,
which they should be as well, because they're not pets at the end of the day. They're actual animals to go out and do what they're born to do. Basically.
Well, this is a story from the mirror.co.uk, and basically Roy Jackson appears to be able to prove the existence of the Beast of Cumbria.
With what?
Well, Roy, 73, he captured the creature with an infrared camera.
Oh, I thought you meant capture him as in
he didn't capture it like he got it in a headlock.
Yeah. Come on, I'm going to fucking arm
wrestle. Crocodile Dundee, that bad boy. Well, no, he only got a photo of it. Yeah, but he photographed the beast. He says he thinks it's a big cat. Yeah, it's blatantly a big cat if you see the picture. Yeah. Actually, like you say, in perspective, you can't. It could just be a big House cat, yeah.
This is why I'm very wary on films or pictures from 1994, because from there on the development was such.
Well, Photoshop's came. I mean, they're more accessible to people. And
yeah,
stuff
but
like
the
that.
older stuff was like it's more.
Well, actually, I've got some statistics on the rise of I was looking at something, and it was the rise of conspiracy theories. Based on believers, and it coincides with the rise of smartphones. Because
I can see that.
It's made the internet more accessible to
made
people.
More people intelligent.
Well, no, I wouldn't say it makes them more intelligent. I'd just say it kind of gives more people the tools to be able to look something up, whereas somebody might not know how to use the internet. Now it's easy.
Yeah. I want to fix this car park. I'll have a look on YouTube or other places.
In terms of size, Roy thinks the animal was around 3 foot 9 inches long.
3 foot.
Yeah. Like, so say if it was like a 3 foot
like
person, 4 foot person.
It's like a dog.
Yeah, so quite a big dog.
Quite a big dog. Yeah, I'd say medium dog.
And it's basically the beast's been reported in the area several times. 40 reports in all.
What about the zoos? Do the zoos know of any?
Well, no, there's not been any animals missing, and this is basically what they think it was down to somebody owned it as a pet, and then it's been let loose, or they've been let. Well, no, like I say, in the 70s, you didn't need any sort of.
True, but would it have lasted that long?
Well, no, but if you think about
let it loose and it has
breeding, it has cubs, maybe that's not a lion, that was. Maybe it's a very old lion, and that's why it's being spotted more and more.
But then that means there has to be at least 2.
Puma or panther.
Puma or panther. Yeah, because they used to say they reckon it was pumas back in the day.
Well, he's basically caught a snap of this, and it's
a good picture.
It's a good picture, to be honest. I think it.
I know you're in you got your photography stuff and that.
Yeah, so I think the photo, it's like I say, it's infrared image. Yeah. But it does come out like it's as sleek as a kind of like a jungle cat, but it's not. In terms of size, I can't really gauge it.
Because it doesn't look like
in relation to the background.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna go with it is what he says it is. To be honest,
I gotta admit, with what happened in like the 80s and that, and with like you were saying, like having exotic pets over here and stuff like that, because it was all the rage. I mean, there is possible that there is a few out there. There was like little alligators thrown down toilets and shit like that. I mean, it's still going on. But it's just more. It's not more prominent.
Well, I'd say it's like I see YouTube videos of people who still have tigers and stuff in their house.
And it's like you're a fucking nutter.
Well, when you get mauled. God, I'm losing my voice tonight. I don't know what's up with.
What have you been doing?
Nothing much. So basically, I think Roy has actually legitimately taken a picture of the Beast of Cumbria, and don't know if that's going to bring him any fame or fortune. Yeah, next step, Roy.
Catch it, mate. Catch it.
Catch that motherfucker.
Go for it.
So
where's our first interview?
So I've
got $5 in my pocket.
Any more news tonight, Taylor?
There's. Right, I want people to have a look at this themselves, basically, because I only caught this yesterday night, this morning, about 2 o'clock.
Who's it about?
It's about our gorgeous, brilliant man of the world.
I can really tell you've got a boner on him.
I have, man. It's Trump again. It's Trump. And people say about why I'm on about American stuff and that, but the thing is, it is prominent for the rest of the world.
I don't know why, personally. I don't know why when we talk about conspiracies and stuff quite a lot. Right.
I need to get into some more English stuff.
I know, but when we were looking at conspiracies,
or UK,
and then I think a lot of them come down to don't trust the government. And they
never come out with it.
I've told you my philosophy on Trump. But I think he's a showman.
He's definitely a showman, but he's
that
someone
makes me
who
think
does what he says.
who's in the background. Do you know what I mean?
But I'd rather have someone who does what he says instead of someone who does that and then just sits back and fucking sits and just
like
carries
I said
on.
earlier,
Let the next person fucking deal with it.
He's doing the job, innit? So.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I think he's done a perfect job, and we'll soon find out.
Right.
With
Anyway,
the next, what's
the thing anyway?
Right.
You said you.
Yeah, I thought this was really important just to check it out because I don't know if it's true. It's possible. There's already been 7 assassination attacks on him within the first year.
I heard about one last month, I think, was it?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
But this one's slightly different. This is slightly internal one.
Oh, right, go for it.
So it works out that, right, I've heard a report that like 3:26, the president was rushed into emergency cover because what they're saying is, now I'm just passing on this, is his vice president, who is always, every step of the way, has stood at the side of him at every conference and stuff like that, stood right at the side of him. I can't remember his name, I apologise for that. But this, when he was in the UN, he didn't. He was sat down, in fact.
Right.
He was sat down. So basically, they've said that he's done a coup and tried to get rid of the president.
Who, the vice president?
Yeah, the vice president.
Right.
But then the day after, someone else, high up, has done the same thing, but tried to kill him.
Jesus.
And the day after, there was a possible attempt as well.
So I mean, how come this hasn't been in the news?
This is it, yeah, but it's so important.
You'd think if it was, well, I suppose, but it's like...
Look at the Pope one when the Pope was supposed to have been trying to get arrested.
Nothing can touch us.
Never heard anything about it.
Yeah, I suppose they want to keep up that every business as usual facade, don't they, really? Yeah,
well, in another way, yeah, it is good, but it's like, it's on YouTube, it's called, Here's the Big News, and then it's got a plus sign. Caught on Trump equals 2 times in 3 days.
And that's what you'd search on YouTube
if
that's you wanted to find this video?
Yeah.
I'll check it out. I had a listen earlier when you were telling me about it, and I was like, I'm
not too sure about it.
Do you know what? I don't really want to be. I feel like I'm being a bit of a naysayer in a lot of things tonight, and I don't mean right because I've been absolutely head burnt out in the last couple of days with the research I've been doing on tonight's big topic.
It is a big topic.
So I feel very critical. I'm thinking very critical. Yeah. I've been trying to piece bits and pieces together from different.
Yeah, because it's not exactly fluid.
Different sources, and it's done me in. So I don't mean to be like.
No, go for it. Go for it, because I can.
So check out that video. Yeah. And like I say, but from my point of view on the video, I'd like to find a few more sources.
That's why I want people to go and have a look at. Don't trust on what I say, because I don't know. This is the first step. Yeah.
So.
It's the first report. I am going to look to see if there's any more on it. If I find anything more prominent and more information on it, then obviously I'm gonna come back to this and say. But check it out, guys.
Talking about updates and coming back to previous stories. Do you know what we were talking about the sunspot?
Yes.
Observatory the other day.
Yes.
Well, we've had an update on that, and the latest is that they basically found child porn on one of the laptops.
So funny, and I don't mean it in finding child porn. I think it's so funny.
So basically,
putting that in there.
Yeah. Well, So the story is that on the way back from the observatory, one of the scientists and the chief astrologer, right? He's come back into the main building. Yeah. He's found an open laptop with all the tabs open.
So he wants to have a look.
Right. So. He's sorting it out, and then I think what had happened was the cleaner or the groundskeeper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he'd been using the room doing his rounds.
So they know who it is.
Well, they didn't suspect him straight away, But then he started asking random questions, saying stuff like, has anyone left a laptop in here, like sort of thing, or not? He didn't really put it like that.
Surely the IP address must be labelled to him.
Well, no, because it was a work laptop. So basically, it was just. I assume that maybe if nights he's been left alone.
This can't be right.
He's been having a look, right? But
this can't be right.
They basically say the suspect later was sacked, right? But just sacked, right? No police were involved or anything. They sacked him, but then he later came back to the observatory threatening to execute the lot of them, right? And he didn't just go there, he went to the post office as well. Right? So it was when the execution stuff started coming in, is when the authorities were apparently called. So that's what they're saying. But then there was that body that was found. So am I to assume that he was the guy that did he get taken
No, I can't see. No, because someone found the body there. Supposedly, this was just one of the reports.
Rumours, yeah. But then that makes me think.
But the Chinese one about it was actually from an FBI.
There were so many different stories linked to this.
But this is it. This is why, like, when we like look at stories and stuff, we got to look at this, like, inside, outside the box, and find the connections to it. If there's any connections to it, to see where it all connects to, and that's why this process takes, like, sometimes a bit, like,
a bit longer.
Because, like, we're trying to give you the facts of what we know or what we've seen, and it's up to you to believe if we're right or not.
Well, this is it. It's like I say. It's like I'm trying to gather facts from, or like info from few different sources, and what I believe. The narrative, or whatever. So
and I've been looking at this for like over 20 years, so I've got a head full of it that I like the people to know, and this seems to be the better way to tell people. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna do a more light-hearted story. This is funny. This, mate. I've absolutely. Do you know what this? I don't know if it's power for the cause or what. Yeah, because it's like, have you heard of Moonpig?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Everyone. If
Moonpig.com.
Well, if you're not from England, you might not have heard of them. And Moonpig are basically a customised card and gift service.
Yeah.
Where you can upload a photograph.
Yeah.
Get a personalised card sent out.
Yep, sent out with whatever you need with it, roses or chocolates and that, and delivered straight there.
Well, a lot of people use it, and you can kind of like use it by uploading your image to the website.
Yeah.
And then, however, it turns out people have been abusing it.
Oh, as people do.
Yeah, well, they've had a bit of a run on people posting or uploading pictures of the genitalia, shall we say it?
Are we saying dick pics here?
Dick pics.
Oh, my
I think it's, do you know
Plunge pics.
But this is the thing, it's like, until I heard this, I'd never even thought of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think my mind's in the gutter quite a lot, so do you know what I mean?
Right,
it's like, I would have thought that that would have come up, do you know what I mean, at some point?
Yeah.
But then,
Butt-tails.
do you know how they felt they needed to combat this?
Yeah, go on.
They put a plea out on Twitter, saying, please stop uploading pics of your genitals to our cards. It's against the TS and CS's, so terms and conditions. Yeah. So what do you think people are going to do if you're going to tweet? Please stop doing that.
I'm doing it now, mate.
Exactly. I'm not going to be surprised if they got an absolute rush of people doing that.
I bet they would have never seen so many dicks.
Yeah, I bet honestly they were just dick pics coming out of that machine.
Yeah.
Left, right, and centre.
Last time we saw that many dicks in one place, they walked into Parliament.
Oh my God. Yeah. So what do you reckon? Are you gonna go off and get yourself a Moonpig card?
I think I should show mine.
What I'm going to say is stop doing it, people. It's disgusting. Please.
No, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't,
please stop doing it.
Well,
Oh, please.
I think it's funny.
Oh, all right, just once, but... all right,
now
twice.
You're begging.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're getting to a point now where they're like, they're just asking for trouble, aren't they?
Well, yeah, basically, yeah. What did they expect?
Well, yeah.
To be honest, what did they expect? Yeah, any photo can be used. All right.
Right, sweet.
Done, yeah. All right, cheers, mate.
Here's a really old bush.
And if they stop it, I'll
from
tell
the
you
garden.
this, if they stop it, someone can set up a business doing that. There you go. There's a business straight away. They're probably getting £1 million before the fucking year's out.
Yeah, fair dues.
You know what I mean?
I've got a bit of movie news.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is kind of related in terms of spacey stuff.
Oh,
right.
Fine.
So there's a new movie coming out imminently, coming soon. I don't actually have a release date on this yet, but it's called The First Man, and it's a look at the life of Neil Armstrong, the first walk on the moon in July 1969.
Yeah, I've seen an advertisement of this. Yeah, I'm not too sure about it, to be honest.
It's like, is it going to be like a biopic?
I don't know, because if like the Apollo 13
struggles with walking on the moon.
Well, I thought the film
playing golf on the moon and
Apollo 13 was alright
on the moon.
But I don't know. I think they need to leave that alone.
Do you know
now.
what? Wouldn't it be fucking awesome though if it got to the third act of the movie and then like he meets aliens on the moon and then like they take him to his base and then like the missing minutes and he actually gives the account in the movie. I'm not saying that's going to happen.
No, because I guarantee you that would never be allowed to be aired. That would never ever be allowed to be aired. That. Look at what Anunnaki, a film called Anunnaki was being brought out, telling the story of the Sumerians, where we were all supposed to have come from, really. Apart from Africa, they were the first big civilizations 12,000 years ago. They were like where all the laws and all this comes from. People look into it. But yeah, there was a film and he specified certain events that had happened through history. Yeah. And the government shut it down 2 days before it was supposed to be released out to them. Right. And it was going to be a big movie as well.
Well, did you think they do that for the hype though, just to kind of get a bit of buzz about it?
They're doing
because
it
I felt like they did that for that interview. Do you know that film, The Interview?
Yeah.
I felt like that's what they did for that. They give it a hype, saying it was banned or Korea had bad things to say. They were saying it was kind of
but everyone knows that now.
Against. Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, do you not think that they use these tricks in media to kind of boost sales and get a bit of a buzz or hype going about it?
Yeah, all the time, man. All the time they'll be using these tricks because that's what makes them sell movies. That's what makes them company. That's what they're there for.
Talking about buzz and hype, have you seen the new Captain Marvel trailer?
No.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, mate. It looks absolutely amazing.
Is it the same character?
Well, it's Carol Danvers. She's basically a fighter pilot, but she doesn't know who she's got amnesia. Yeah, and she basically she's in a kind of an army in space, and then she crash lands back on Earth through a blockbuster video. At the beginning of the trailer, and then she realizes. I think she starts to realize she's from here, and it's basically it's gonna be so good because it comes out about a month before the new Avengers movie, right?
Oh right, when's that?
Next year, right? So around about May, about March. I think about March we're gonna have Captain Marvel, right? Which is a new female. Well, it's not new, but new to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. Do you think they're going a bit too fucking far with this?
No.
Do you think because like look at it this way, like now everyone's picking a superhero.
Pick all the superheroes.
Yeah, but like you know what I mean. And now it's sort of
what you want to do is make a fucking good Superman movie, but
But yeah, I think it's going a little I think it's going a bit fast.
So what you're saying is you think that they've oversaturated the market?
Yeah, basically, which they need to slow down a bit so they keep that market going.
Well, I tell you who is slowing down in the old comic book movie market.
Who's that?
DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, DC totally slowing down. I think I mentioned that like they've shelved Superman.
I thought they'd already gone.
Right. Well, there's about 100 Joker movies in production at the moment. There's loads of them. I've heard rumours of what was his name? Leonardo DiCaprio being Joker. I've heard rumours of obviously Jared Leno returning as Joker. I've heard basically Joaquin Phoenix as well as the Joker, and there's actually been test footage of the Joaquin Phoenix Joker been released.
What, can you see it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can check it out. It's on over Vimeo, whatever you are. Check it out. I'm sure it's there.
Yeah.
And it's funny, because, and I don't know if this is what is going to be his name in the film, right? Yeah. Well, they've called the Joker character, before he turns into the Joker, he's like a comedian. Like, so they're giving him a new origin because there's no definitive, definitive Joker origin yet.
No,
right? He always changes it.
But they will be now because because
it's a Joker movie, but it doesn't necessarily in that universe.
Yeah, but like you said, they're making a couple of the movies now. Just imagine if a couple of movies started off, you know how they keep doing it with fucking Batman. Right, we'll start off from the fucking beginning, but they could have different areas of doing different things, but one of them will turn up to be the one that the favourite.
The fan favourite.
So then that's going to be president as bang. Everyone must do it that way.
Do you know what the Joker's name is in the movie?
Charlie Sheen.
Nope.
John,
I think it's a bit funny actually, and I don't hope it is the name of the character in the movie.
Jimmy Jimbo.
Arthur Fleck.
Arthur Fleck.
Yeah. Now, if you take his initial, A. Fleck, Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, giving a bit of a pop at the Ben Affleck Batman, I think.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I think
it's a bit. I think that's a bit of a piss take, considering he's in rehab at the moment, trying to get better. Well, do you know what I mean? Well, leave the poor Batman alone.
Well, no wonder. Did you see his fucking movie? Jesus. I gotta admit, he did do a good job on it.
He looked like a good Batman, apart from when he looked like the Michelin Man.
Yeah, he was too big, man.
But like, when he was in his Frank Miller style armour, that was pretty cool.
Well, but that's all his support, you know what I mean?
Right, I've got one last piece of news before we move on to the main topic. Before we go into this, I've got to tell you about what the main topic is tonight.
Go on then.
Right.
Do you have to?
Yeah, man. Well, right. Project Bluebeam.
Yeah? Bluebeam.
Yeah, Project
Brilliant.
Bluebeam.
I like this.
Right, this is so crazy because
this has been out for so long.
Well, I mean, since
it's half and that. It's been
going on for years, and to be honest, a lot of the material's been declassified as actual fact. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
once in the 70s and once in the 90s, so you know.
I've got some connections with this as well. Today.
Well,
I've got a few bits of.
Do you know what? It's actually boggled my mind at what this is actually connected to. Right. So, I've got one bit of news before we kick it off, though.
Go on, dude.
Right, and it's it's UFO news, and this comes out of Scotland, in particular Kippen in Scotland.
Kippen.
Yeah, Kippon or En. Yeah, Kippen. I've never been. I've only ever been to Scotland a couple of times, to be honest. No, Scottish. I've been to Scotland a few times, actually.
I've been a few times.
Hey, right, So,
so what happened?
Right, so a video has been released, which happened around the 1st of September. And it was filmed by unnamed woman, right?
As you.
You know that she's great. She's up there with Spielberg, unnamed woman. Seen all her movies, right? So unnamed woman's got this video, and it's like a UFO that's on fire, and it's spiraling out of control, and
Now I've seen this video, and I've got two possible opinions to it.
Go for it.
Right. Well, I'll tell you one. For one. It's not the first time it's happened.
Well, no, but where's all the debris? Where's the aliens? Where's the evidence?
I'll go into that in a second. Because in the 90s, there was, and the early 2000s, there was quite a few videos. And it actually could go back to, Rembrandtshire Forest incident with the ship touching of the ship. Right, have you seen it where it's like metal melting? It's like metal melting off, basically. This, in fact, someone at work was
like gallium.
Yeah, it like just melts off, and for no reason. There's been MUFON reports of UFOs that it melts.
Oh yeah.
Shit
So
have you ever
seen? Did you ever see that film, Flight of the Navigator, when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You've just reminded me how the stairs moved when, like, do you know what? It really still holds up, that film. Because,
definitely.
Do you know
I was
what?
watching it the other week.
And it's great,
Brilliant film.
And you get the graphics of them stairs morphing down.
Yeah.
Still holds up.
Yeah.
Gotta say. Actually, do you know what happened to that guy, the kid out of Flight of the Navigator?
No, go on.
Got done for armed robbery. Yeah. Actually inside now.
That movie must have made a bomb. It would do now.
Well, I suppose he was only a kid. Probably spent it all on crack.
Yeah, well, there's a few maybe
well done.
kids who've like gone to like being like
fucked
up on
child stars. Child stars generally do. So go on. Where was you anyway?
So there's that factor that possibly could be where all that's coming from. That it is whatever it is UFO unidentified. With all this metal, so it's broke down, right? Yeah. Basically, did you see the end of it? If it went off?
No, it just kind of I think
I only seen a little clip of it.
That was all I saw. It was the clip, but it did look like a craft of some sort. But like
because if it started
trailing fire at the end,
then
it was weird.
It can't have had a problem with it. But the second thing, which comes onto the subject for tonight, basically, is could it be the government burning off the excess Libyan and barium that they've been spraying all around the world?
Chemtrails.
That's the fella.
Well, possibly. I don't know.
Think about it, because they're metal pieces. They're little, slight, small little pieces.
So you think you'd get more of a metallic sort of flash? Or like,
because it melts out, finished, gone, melts out.
It's a theory. A lot of conspiracy theorists do believe that the governments or the Air Force.
Well, I hate to tell you, but it's not a theory no more.
Well,
it's definitely not a theory, because CIA director 3 years ago come out and actually exposed it. He actually exposed it, and there's other videos coming out that actually show why they put them out there. Right. Why they're doing all this.
Well, we'll get to chemtrails because it is quite interesting, and I'm going to start with the Project Bluebeam. Most people start it with one of two things. Yeah. They start it with the Star Wars program. Yeah. With President Reagan. Yeah. And if you're not familiar with it, he basically talks about how a world divided is weak. And he often thinks about, like, if there was an outside threat from, like, an alien race.
What he actually did was he got all the big, sci-fi report, sci-fi writers.
Press conference, didn't
he? He got all them. He brought in a lot of civilians who was into all this, basically. Yeah. He brought them in. He told him stuff, because I've seen some agents where there's it even goes into weather. It even goes into the weather, because I remember an agent in Las Vegas who come out stating that he was told to go out, have a look at the weather and see what it does. Yeah. Right. See how you can control it, blah blah, this, that and the other. And this guy, he was like shocked how much certain little things can just directly do massive things. He was even speaking about it, he was so shocked about it.
Well, for this, he was basically saying as well, like, if we were under an attack from an alien species, that we'd be more likely to work together. And,
I remember the speech. It was a big famous speech.
And kind of come together as a one world. And it was one of the first instances where they mentioned the one world government by name.
Kennedy.
Yeah, well, Kennedy was one of them, But, Reagan brought it back to the forefront. Yeah. So, some believe that this is what the Bluebeam project is about, basically, to create confusion and cause panic, and to extend the armed forces and basically destroy religion. Yeah. Right. So.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say destroy religion. I reckon they would. They were on to trying to bring us all together, but in a forceful way and in a controllable way.
Well, I think what Reagan was getting at was, like, and this is where people started making the connections, because he was saying that if we were attacked by an alien armada, that we'd all kind of need to kind of
get together.
But that's not only what he means. He means that we'd have to probably throw down a lot of our rights in order for him to do that. It'd kind of usher in a martial law. And it'd give reason for UN or like UN forces to move into certain countries. Right? So many people believe that the New World Order is planning a mass lie. A ruse that will make people think that basically give up on their beliefs, give up on their belief structure, give up on their ideologies, and all, and basically create panic. Right? So let me give a bit of insight about what the Blue Beam Project is. Right? So the Blue Beam Project is a satellite laser. Right? And it's got a diverging lens. Right? On the laser.
What's diverging lens?
Really, kind of no. I think it's kind of more. Do you know when like a lens is convex? Right. I think it's more of a divergent. I think it's more of kind of spreads the light out or the laser beam out rather than pointing it in one direction.
Like a laser beam.
So then it's goes through a holographic emulsion, which is a silver glitter crystal compound. Right. Which then goes through a glass plate with the image that they want to kind of project. And then that ends up in a 3D visual image. Right,
okay.
And how they do it is basically, how the technology works is that they kind of use this laser satellite to project onto water and air particles.
Right?
So the beam basically brings the molecules of those atoms together. Right? Creating more of a stable structure for your light to be refracted off.
So it's a bit like
as you can see, I totally burnt my head out. Right? So it's a projection. But
in the clouds,
it's a very realistic projection. Now they don't just do this in the clouds. Right? There's been absolutely loads of test footage. Right? But looking at it, I can't gauge whether some of it's like an augmented reality, or if some of it. And again, if you don't know the terminology of an augmented reality, it's like what you'd get from Pokemon Go. Right? So you kind of get your phone camera and you can see an image of like, a Pokemon on your screen in real life. You can see it moves as you move the camera.
CIA,
right? So what is Pokemon Go? 30 dues. I didn't know that.
Because the week they were going to go bust, CIA turned around and gave them 10 million and said,
keep it going.
Keep it going.
They have a knack of keeping projects going just for the sake
basically,
of it.
we get details of it.
Of course you do.
They get
another way of data collection, GPS, and all the rest of it.
Of course. So you don't get nothing for nothing.
So the test footage is available on YouTube if you wanted to go and check it out, and I'll probably leave a couple of links to it in the description. But basically, there's test footage of that show children and adults amazed by hologrammatic polar bears, whales, sea lions, and they all approach them jumping out of the water and coming onto the land. The kids are like amazed. There's even one where there's a kid with a rhino, and the kid looks genuinely scared that this rhino is coming at him, but it's a hologram. Right? Now I can't tell if those ones are augmented reality, but I have seen versions of these projections.
Do it with green screen all the time now, don't they? So
green screen chroma key is totally different because you can there's ways of telling chroma key with outlines and edges, and it all comes out to how well it's done. You know what I mean? And a lot of the time you can see like a buzzy edge around hairs cut off or something, because you've still got to cut
slightly
people
hard
out.
corners
It's got a hard
like
edge. So, and there is ways of telling, about these things. So,
to be honest, just look at it once and make your mind up there, and your mind is probably what you gut feeling says there is probably right.
But like I say, if you, a lot of people can see how real, you know, this stuff is, like, and they're genuinely getting an emotional response to it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I see this as kind of testing, beta testing.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
showing it on a kind of a low level.
Yeah.
Right. But if you can kind of get an emotional response, an emotional reaction out of somebody based on a hologram, then that's a powerful tool, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh,
so
without doubt.
If
they can do it with colours, they can obviously do it with an object.
But essentially, if you can see, hear, smell, and touch it, does it make it real?
Not necessarily.
Well,
because you can do all of them with a cup of tea.
Well, I'd say it'd make it as real as it could be because it's a physical presence. Now, I'm not sure how kind of solid these are. They are kind of, the videos I've seen, they've been quite, you know, just like general projections. You can walk through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but the point of these tests is to gauge a reaction from the subjects.
So as to gauge a reaction.
So,
shame.
Yeah, it is, but no, well, it depends on the reaction, isn't it? I mean, like...
Well, no, not really, because what gives them the right to give you that reaction?
Well, they can program anything into this.
Well, this is it, so they get the data, so then they can do... They've got control. If they know you, they've got control of you.
Well, like this...
They can twist your melon into stuff.
Well, we'll get into that because this is what a lot of conspiracy theorists believe. They believe you might be thinking, where am I going with this? Do you know, like, what's this technology got to do with anything? What's it got to do with anything? So, you know, but I mean, going back to the technology briefly, it's like you can see that if this technology has been available or been in development since the 1970s, then in this day and age, where is it now? To the point where... Well, where we can't believe what we see anymore.
That is true. That is true. It's a shame, but it is now known. It is a fact.
Well, it makes me think of those. Do you know what was it, Arthur Conan Doyle and the fairies? Because that was a point in history where it was like, you know, we believed science. Photographs were science. It was a scientific document or a document of historical document, if you like.
So that's, you know, like NASA going to the moon and stuff.
It's like you find out that you can't believe your own eyes because what you're seeing is fairies, but they're not real. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's the kind of thing that's what's happening with like faces as well. You can't do it with faces no more. You can't do it with voices no more because the computer, Google can copy your voice to a T. It can also copy your face. It can also make you into someone else who does not exist.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of videos on YouTube again. Where you can see. I think Secure Team did a video about where he reported on people who don't exist, but they were just made up faces.
Well, people believe that they actually. Yeah, I know that person. That's a famous star. Yeah, black. No, it's not.
Well,
doesn't exist.
Well, this is it. In terms of testing, there was one report. Check this out. There was one report of a projected moon in the sky, but the giveaway signs were that it was fake. Was that it was basically cast wrong and it was refracting off a Ferris wheel. Right. So you could see where the projection was coming. Well, yeah, exactly. It was kind of being like.
Shown the slight difference in
showing those differences, but they were apparently trying to blag that like the moon was there but covered up by this other moon. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But like, you know, it's and like it's not even that. It's actually becoming to the mainstream where, you know, we've all seen Michael Jackson, Elvis. All being 3D tours now.
Tupac come back. Man, even though he's in Somalia.
You can totally see Elvis now in a hologrammatic tour. Do you know what I mean? Well, and people are paying to see Elvis.
They're paying.
He's died.
They're paying for something that they're getting entertainment out, but not realising that this is dangerous stuff that they could be playing with.
Well,
far too dangerous that it could actually, you know, it could fucking destroy the world.
Well,
if you think about it, anyone could put a certain thing. Let's say tomorrow night the TV, boom, someone's took control of the TV and put some, let's say Trump right? Which you wouldn't do, but say Trump coming up going, right, China, I'm fucking had enough of you, I'm gonna fucking do you. Come and have it if you want it. Fucking, Russia, come on, I'm ready. Tomorrow night, fucking do us, because we're gonna do you at this time. And then they actually do it. Or because someone's projected some bullshit on the telly, which majority of it's fucking bullshit now anyway. Which if you don't think so, then like you need to look more into the widescreen of the internet and social media to find out what's true and what's not. I mean, have a look at our country. Have a look at other news of our country and see what they say. You know what I mean? It's a case of like, it's dangerous stuff we're playing with, and they are playing with it.
Well, they're
not sensible at any cost.
Well,
any
this
of the
is
governments.
it. I mean, they're not bothered. Like, you know, if they're going to be using this type of technology, it's like, you know,
consequences for their actions.
We'll get even to. We've not even got to the point where.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Where what they're doing with this technology.
Yeah.
Now, the technology in itself sounds pretty harmless.
Yeah.
And the way, basically, what they're getting at.
That's what it's designed to do, isn't it? Basically, it's designed to make it harmless.
Conspiracy theorists believe that the government plan to use this technology to stage a major or multiple world events that would change people's beliefs, opinions, and ideology.
Yeah.
Right.
Most definitely.
These events could be in a sort of a religious icon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Angels.
That's like Jesus in Christian countries.
Yeah. Or
Muhammad in Muslim countries. That's how they're planning on doing it. Yeah.
And they plan on using these sort of like, you know, holograms to kind of
twist people's
well,
minds.
yeah, because it's like
ways.
At the end of the day, if you, I say it myself, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
So if you see something crazy in the sky, and
true.
it's kind of, you know, talking to you.
Do you reckon there's a possibility?
Wouldn't you be a bit freaked out? Wouldn't you kind of question everything you've thought?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I kind of would. I think I'd question it to an extent. Anyway.
Do you think there's a possibility? Was it me and you who was talking the other day? We might actually have been talking online about it. About filming a UFO.
Yeah.
How the images are never.
They're never very good
at. Yeah. Now, do you reckon? I'm just throwing this in the air. You just think about it and talk about it amongst yourselves. Do you think that there's a possibility that they've already been playing that for a while to see our reactions? Because I'm finding out at the minute that like there was only the other day where you'd see...
What, with like UFO sightings?
Yeah. Mexico at the minute is a big hotspot.
Yeah.
It is massive hotspot at the minute, and it's like, what's going on? Now,
well, this is another thing. They basically say that it could be religious icons, angels, or even an alien attack. So if they've been throwing these UFOs up in the sky to kind of throw us off, or just to play with us, like you say, they're beaming down little holograms of UFOs, seeing what the gauge the reaction.
Because at that you could do the speed at that speed. You could do a turn at like 90 degrees at like 2,000 miles.
Exactly, because it's a projection.
Yeah.
But conspiracy theorists think that the government or the world governments are gearing up to this.
Yeah.
Right. There was even reports of when they were going into take out Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
Of using the blue beam to conjure up an image of Allah, to tell the locals to overthrow Saddam, but it was never used, right?
And they used sound instead.
Right? So they went a different
Spice
route.
Girls, I think.
But in that brainstorming session, they used that as a viable option. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
which means they more than likely got the capability.
Well, they didn't probably want to reveal that to the world.
Well, no. Well, they don't want to reveal a lot, do they? Really, they don't want to. They want us quiet and sat in the corner making them fucking money. That's what they want. Well, then they can get on with destroying the world.
Well, what they consider it to be is non-lethal warfare, and the blue beam was developed for just that, to divert the attentions of the enemy. Right, yeah. Psychological warfare.
Yeah.
So there was Fort. I can't pronounce it. It's a Fort Hukatar. Or Wakatar Army Training Ground for electrical optical testing. It was an electrical optical testing proving ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they reckon that these kind of things were used on this base, right? To kind of test.
Yeah.
Like the other psychological kind of like non-lethal sort of
weapons.
Means. Yeah. So not only was the blue beam technology was there, but other sort of things like.
Is this what they called them fucking the future makers of arms?
Well, you referred to them the other day, like Skunk Works or something. Is that the UK version or something?
No, that's American.
It's American.
Yeah,
so I don't know if it's a link to them, but it's like it's research.
No,
and
military.
Research and development, isn't it? So it's like somebody will have an idea,
instead, that's what
and the military always turn around and say, "How can we use this for our own
benefit?
Yeah. How can we weaponize this?
Yeah, of course. Or
but,
defenders.
Well, some of the project specifics consist of ways to make people more susceptible by using electromagnetic signals.
Yeah.
Tests done by Dr. Persinger show that exposing a subject to minimal doses of this electromagnetism makes a subject more open to suggestibility and was able to influence fear and induce fear by using certain wave frequencies. Yeah. And this was harnessed and used on the masses, like MK Ultra used those, like, they used it to lobotomize people, didn't they? Like electroshock therapy.
Yeah, basically it's another version of LSD. So that's what they did in the British camps.
And according to Persinger, the effects affecting the space and size of according to him, it was quite easily done, and they were able to kind of induce panic and fear amongst quite large groups of people by emitting low-level frequencies.
I can very well believe that. I've seen certain technologies that are capable of doing that in even handheld. Because all you really need is the frequency.
Yeah, but like then these
and the device. That is it.
Sorry, this is where I was going earlier. I was like lost me trail there.
Yeah, go for
it. But Persinger, he basically believed that using this technology alongside the blue beam technology, would be beneficial, right? So the technology for frequency manipulation was already exists. And all they need is like spy planes to fly over, then they can manipulate our TV, radio signals. Like a PSYOPs plane. Yeah. They can fly over, manipulate our TV signals now. Yeah. True. And if you think about that was happening in like the 80s and 90s. Yeah. Where are we now in the digital age? Is it? And this kind of gives people like
Wi-Fi
more conspiracy about Wi-Fi, about smart
Siri.
Meters. Your Siris, your smart light bulbs. Yeah. You've got smartphones.
Well, like
you've got smart meters, and smart meters are going to be mandatory by 2020.
Yeah.
Right. So soon everybody's going to have these smart meters in the home.
So you know what?
It's going to be emitting these low-level frequencies.
No, you know what? No. So now, like I was talking, I think it was I was talking to you about it before, weren't I, Jeff? About how getting Tesla's fucking. Device with the magnets, charging up and using the magnets instead of actually using electric. Then they can fuck off with that. They can get. I don't want smart meter because as soon as you get smart meter, I know I've just been bent over and fucked out.
Totally. Well, this is it. It's not even a case of that. It's like if you believe this conspiracy, then there's something a lot more sinister to them.
I've got to say, it's not conspiracy. There's evidence.
If there's a smart meter in every home, then that means everybody's influenced by these signals, right? Yeah. And if what I've found out about this project, is kind of accurate, then they're going to use these signals to make you hear what they want to hear in a two-way telepathic sort of
so they're going to make you like feel schizophrenic.
You can talk to God basically. When God appears outside, he's going to talk to you directly and you're going to be able to talk.
So now when you're dreaming,
back,
it could talk to you, and it could talk to you, your control.
So
what do you call it?
I mean, the Blue Beam project is actually run by NASA, right?
Yes.
And it's kind of a top secret operation, even though it's kind of not,
yeah.
right? But it was a top secret operation. But like I say, they actually declassified a lot of this in the 70s, and then again in 1994.
Yeah, because
right?
they have to. Man.
So the technology is there, you know, they know for a fact. So, but and
if they're not going to use it, someone else is.
It's the plan of what they believe that they'll use it for. So they think the goal is to create a one world order.
Yeah.
And there's conspiracy theorists have believed that this is been happening since the 70s.
Yeah.
And as the technology's grown, it's becoming more and more imminent.
It is because people are being fucking swindled and they're not realising, they're not actually. But I've got to say, I do give it to the people at the minute. They are starting to wake up more. There is more questions being asked. And ask more questions, don't just accept what you've just been given. Or we're turn around and say, give us $5,000 a piece for every single person. Like they are getting, you know what I mean? It's a case of ask. Well, there
was a guy who actually wrote a book about the Blue Beam. I think he was one of the first people who kind of came out with the conspiracy. And he was called Serge Monas.
I think I've got paperwork.
And basically, he's kind of outlines the four main steps that it takes to kind of take control using this. Yeah. And from there, it gained traction, and a lot of people kind of got on board with the theory, right? And the theory consists of destroying ancient history.
Yes,
so
which they've been doing.
Which a lot of stuff has been kind of been coming out.
Iraq, Syria.
Yeah, new kind of
ISIS
chambers
in
pyramids.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
Now they reckon that by... No, I don't mean destroy that. I mean basically by destroying people's way of thinking. So like they'll turn around and say,
taking their will away.
It didn't exist because like we've never found any evidence of it, and then all of a sudden a lost city will be found, which predates our conception of how long we've been on the planet and stuff like that. So to break down sort of our belief in history and archaeology, right? So that's step one, right?
Well, do you reckon then through that alone, do you reckon it's a possibility that it could have connection with the Mandela effect?
Oh, that's a whole nother topic.
But do you reckon that could be a possibility? That could be an area where, in what respect of like, right, Kit Kats used to have 3 fingers. Now they've got 4. Right. And we remembered them having 3 fingers, and they've taken that away.
Right. Yeah. I know what
the
Mandela
sort
effect
of, you know, in your own conscience, you sort of like. Because it tests it on billions of people. There's going to be a few people who, to say like, you know what?
Most
actually, I remember
theories probably come from CIA and stuff, putting false information out there to make people like us think about other stuff.
Well, if it's true, what WikiLeaks fucking leaders saying about this intelligence evil dust that's been spread around, then I'd go and check that out. His last words before he was cut off. Basically, he's saying that there's been dust spreading everything, like your food and literally everywhere, and basically to take control. And they're like little circuits. But yeah, it's the last 4 minutes. He's been taken out.
So
on some of them, but yeah.
Step 3 was using the hologram in the sky to kind of conjure like
the image
of a religious person or leader, or you know, like icon. Well, this is where people kind of thingy, because I don't know if because a lot of kind of people talk about the conspiracy theory that they use the religious thing to break down the religion, to say basically God's going to turn around, or Allah's going to turn around to all these people and say, you're doing it the wrong way, you've been doing it wrong the entire time, this is the new way, and get us all following one thing. Now this is the fucked up bit. They reckon that this is going to be led by the devil, and like, you know, Satan's going to be the new leader of the new church, right? So I don't know why if everyone's going to buy into that, you know.
I've heard it in an order, how it's supposed to go.
Well, this is the 4 steps. So they make him hear God using these ELF VLF and LF
And what do they
frequencies. Mean? So you've got
ELF.
ELF is like a sort of very no, it's kind of like
low frequency.
A low frequency, but it's not a very low frequency, like, you know, and then you've got a low frequency.
Yeah.
So it's just like an average low frequency, or then you've got the very low frequency, and LF is like the low frequency, and that's like the highest rate.
So LF will be the highest, and ELF will be the lowest, because it's
yeah. So like I say, using these like using a combination of visuals, audio, and you know, fear inducing.
So,
they're gonna
you can get that
basically
feeling.
make you question everything.
Yeah.
That's the plot. That's the. It's a bad movie, man. That's what I see. It's a really bad movie. It's a bit tight. It's convoluted.
Sorry, but it ain't movie no more, mate.
It's terrible movie. But they make it out as if it's going to be. They're looking to do a big false flag invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I always started questioning why go for the religious icons, then the invasion. Why not do it like, you know?
Way. And
this is the thing, you see, because you do kind of hear things all over the place, and it's kind of trying to put it all together in a way.
Around the last year, I've heard a lot of people coming out with the combination of it's going to be, right, a disaster's going to happen, then aliens are going to turn up, and then we lose against the aliens, right? And then God turns up.
Yeah, well, that
and
makes
God
sense.
beats the aliens.
Yeah, no, that makes more sense. Yeah, but
to get them into that religious part again. Because all I find is religion is, for me personally, religion is there for two things and two things only. Hope. People go there for hope. Mm-hmm. A lot of people go there for hope.
Yeah.
And war. Because you've got another religion to fight, you've always got someone else to fight.
Basically, some people got turned to
and you
church
can't always agree.
For like, you know, because they've got no one else.
Not about physical fight, I'm about, like, you know, not agreeing to doing the same things.
Generally, the whole kit and caboodle is they want to use this technology to make us see and believe something and change our way of thinking.
So what would you say, like we were saying before, seeing and believing it, what if you saw a ship up in the sky now?
I'd question it, of course you would, and you'd get your phone out and you'd be like, oh my god, I saw a UFO.
And then on the telly it'd come up with, right, Earthlings, I'm looking for this Gary. Where is he? We're going to get him. We've been watching him on his and listening to him on his podcast, so we're not happy with what he's got to say. Men in Black are on the way.
Oh, get the Men in Black round.
Yeah.
I've got questions for them guys.
Yeah.
Unless you do the flashy thing in my eyes.
Yeah, I wonder if you could talk to one.
The telltale signs for checking if it's what you see and is believing.
Yeah.
Because there are signs that you can look for.
Yeah.
So when you're looking up at the sky, right? Generally, when this beam's being beamed down, it creates geometric shapes in the atmosphere, right? Now, there's been a lot of reports of square clouds.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
And square sort of like areas in the sky that just don't look right. They look man-made.
These
they either look cut out, or they look like a square or rectangle cloud.
So much going on now.
It's crazy. So
even noise. So you've got noise going on. You've got things in the sky going on. You got things under the ground going on. It's like, where is it that like things are going fucking right?
Well, there's other ways of testing whether you're kind of seeing something that is there. Is if you take a camera and you kind of you see something in the sky, you see geometric sort of shapes.
Yeah.
Next test is you get your camera out and you point it up in that general direction. Yeah. And now how a camera works is it emits light to a sensor. Yeah. Right. So if it picks up this beam, then it glitches your camera out. You start getting camera interruption and disruption in your shot. But you also get like a lens flare, right? Which is a kind of evidence of this not concave, but this lens. Yeah. Right. So basically, like,
now you know what's wrong with your phone.
There's a lot of people getting like this sort of interruption when they're trying to film these clouds, right? And it turns out that it's interruption from this satellite laser signal, right? But
I can believe that.
That's what people are saying.
It's going to have to
But that's how they're saying you can spot it if you feel like you're seeing something in the sky you don't believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But but that's also linking it to chemtrails, because are they kind of spraying this silver nitrate sort of stuff up in the atmosphere to get a better result?
Aluminum
and
barium.
Is that what it is?
That's what they're spraying. Aluminum and barium. Now, I'd seen when all this started years ago. I was looking into it. I weren't really believing in it at first, so I had a little look into it, and I looked into like the scientists and the doctors who are actually promoting on actually what this stuff is, what it does to you, and stuff like that. Now, have you heard of? I don't know what. There's a certain name for it. I can't remember what it's called, but like blue and red hairs that come out here. And people have had this, and it's like, what's that? And they've tried pulling it out, and it's like iron and shit,
like a copper strand or something.
That's it. And it's this stuff basically. So you've been infected around some area.
Giving me the shivers.
But it hasn't affected everyone the same way. It's only affected a few people, which, because of the amount of distance apart from each other and that, it works out that like everywhere's been spread, man.
So,
but it could be to stop the sun as well.
Yeah,
because about the
1990s. I don't know if you're going to start spraying shit like that into the atmosphere. Then I expect that it's not going to be a good thing on the global warming scale.
I think 1996 there was a big argument, massive argument that wasn't publicised a lot. It was around, but it wasn't publicised a lot, and it was called the global warming v the global dimming. Now, the reason why is because in the UK we lost 40% of the sun.
Yeah.
In America, 60%. In Russia, it was about 90%. And we had to make a decision. Thankfully, it was some scientists in Australia that found this out. We had to make a decision on either getting rid of global warming and keeping global dimming, or getting rid of global dimming and keeping global warming. Now, at that time, everyone was looking into global warming to try and control it, and they were looking in how to do it. So that would have been probably the best path to go.
Yeah.
So this could be a side effect of that,
right?
Because I'd imagine that it like Rome weren't built in a day. You know what I mean? So it's
like we were talking about.
It had
like
effects. Don't get me wrong, it did work, because sadly, but thankfully as well, at 9/11 they stopped flying for a few days, right? Well, this is the chance that the scientists had to look at actually the sky and how this global dimming and warming was working.
Yeah.
And they did fight it. It did go 2015. It's like nearly like we've not heard anything about it, but it's still sort of an ongoing thing. So it's a possibility that it's that, or it could be ejections as well from the sun, because the sun's like powerful at the minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a number of things.
Basically, what the conspiracy theorists are saying are that these kind of like projections and chemtrails are just doing so many, right, in such short spaces of time, is that they're prominently using the blue beam technology to cover up something, right? So, what would you not want to see in the sky if something was approaching the Earth?
We're on about next week.
Well, yeah.
We're on about next week.
When it came up, right, I thought of you straight away, because I was like, oh, he's gonna love this as a conclusion.
Yeah.
So basically, conspiracy theorists are saying now that there's been so many of these square cloud coverages and sightings and stuff like that that they believe that Planet X is being covered up by us, and it's visible to the naked eye, but we're being blocked. I reckon that would cause panic if I saw that in the sky.
Now, this is it. Now, I believe this possibly could be the main reason, and the reason why is because of all the recent videos and photos that have been taken. You're getting parts of the sky that are darkened out for no reason, and the rest is like normal sky, normal blue sky. and there's questions about it. Why is this happening?
Yeah, there's a lot. I've seen loads.
Now this sunspot. This sunspot
and it's not
thing,
a natural phenomenon.
No.
Man. You don't get blankets of clouds that are perfect right angles.
There's no way you could get that. No way.
That's not natural.
No. And there's also, like, we was talking about sunspot place. You know, when we was talking about the video where you saw the moon and then you saw another planet.
Yeah.
Possibly one of the moons.
Oh,
of
right.
Nibiru.
Well, we were talking about this as well, about like how the weather seems to be affected in terms of storms.
Yeah, and look at how the
planets.
planet is at the minute.
So there is evidence
and
to
the
say.
circle of
Well, we're going to go into this big time next week.
Well, there's been a disaster, hasn't there? There's been another disaster, sadly, in Indonesia.
When was this?
This morning.
Really? I've not heard anything about this. Go on.
Yeah. But as far I haven't heard any reports this afternoon, but from this morning, there was 400 people died.
Tsunami. Tsunami.
Yeah. It two major places.
God, there you go.
Yeah. So hopefully they can like sort that out and like you know they're getting help.
Fucking get that. Yeah. Hopefully, so the help will get to us.
Yeah, man.
Good luck, man.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna just round this up now. So basically the goal of this whole conspiracy is to unify the earth as one world government.
Can't do that with Trump,
to kind of to make humanity kind of a place where if we had
so-called
a better place, but you know, if to kind of put us up against a threat that isn't Earth-based.
Garden of Eden.
No.
All right. Because I was going to go into something else
there. What you were going to talk about.
No, about the real Garden of Eden. Now, the real Garden of Eden was supposed to be. Through Anunnaki's thing, it's actually supposed to be. It was a cage. It was a slave cage, basically.
Oh, right.
It wasn't actually what people thought.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, so what do you think about the Project Bluebeam?
I think Project Bluebeam is definitely there because of like. I've seen loads of stuff on it over the years, and that was like before even YouTube was out, or any kind of internet. So I've seen that my planet, but there's a possibility it could have been a part of Project Bluebeam. But to be honest, when I seen that, no, it was there.
Well, go on, elaborate. What was this? Go on.
Oh well, I've said before, about me and my brother walking down the street and seeing a planet, but the planet was fucking huge.
No, actually, do you know what? Funny you should say it. When I was doing this research, I came across a video that showed exactly that, and I thought again straight away of you, because it was quite amazing, and it was.
Was this a fake image?
It was a projection.
Show me,
I will find you that video, and I'll put it in the link in the description as well.
I want to see it. Yeah.
So. What I believe that if the technology exists, now the hologrammatic stuff, right? Because I'm quite a cynical person. I think if I saw the hologram in the sky, or I saw an image in the sky of
I'd still question
whatever,
it.
I'd still question it.
Yeah,
right.
It's got to be questioned.
But it's the low emitting frequencies and the that sort of stuff.
That's the dangerous part.
You can't trust that sort of stuff. Everyone kind of went on about masts being put up and how they kind of emit a signal. And these signals, man, we're getting whizzing around. I don't know if they're good for us.
Well, they're not like the Wi-Fi signal. The Wi-Fi signal at the minute is at I think it's something like 15, right? 15 megahertz. I think it is. Now at that point, when it goes through you, it's actually twisting your water within the chemicals within your body. It actually just moves it. It doesn't really do any damage. It just moves it. Now, the next one is going to be G5. Now, with G5, you're going to need boxes everywhere. That's the only way because it has a straight signal. It can't bend or anything like that. It's a straight signal.
We'll stick with the bendy one.
But that's at 60 megahertz. And at 60 megahertz, it actually cooks you.
Right. Well, don't go that far.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
So this is what I mean about them testing. We're guinea pigs at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But we don't have to accept it.
Well.
Don't have to accept it.
Well, that's kind of the end of the kind of topic for tonight.
Yeah. Do you have anything, Jay, to say?
Got a couple.
Do you reckon it was a good topic tonight, Jay?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Nice
What
one,
did you reckon about all this that we've been talking about? Do you reckon it's true or it's not?
He's not going to elaborate anymore.
Do you reckon?
Well, just while he's trying to convince him, I'm going to say, if you want to get in touch with us and give us your opinion, you can get to us on neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. You can find us at Twitter at NASA_never. We're going to go on to Instagram as well because Taylor thinks he's funny and can put some memes together or something.
Mate,
so yeah,
I can't do
You're
nothing
saying he
like
wants
that.
to do some memes.
I don't know, am I?
So we're going to sit, and I think we're going to change.
Well, I don't like using that technology, man.
You don't like using any technology.
I don't.
We're going to kind of change it up as well. I think we're going to start putting thumbnails on the old. Episodes. Thumbnails, yeah, like a little picture that explains what's going on.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I see.
And then we'll stick them on Instagram as well, so, yeah.
Yeah,
see, he doesn't know tech. Do you know what? He came in and said, what's that? I said, it's called a microphone.
Fuck off! Cheeky bastard! Now he's the fucking funny one.
You can catch me on pretty much all the social medias at Gaz Duncan. And you can catch Taylor, like I say, Technophobe Taylor on absolutely nothing. Don't forget, you can get us some swanky merch.
T-shirts,
mugs, all that sort of stuff. You can get yourself a tote bag, because trying to save the environment here, people. By getting yourself a tote bag, you can carry your shopping home in style.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the cheapest product we sell as well, to be fair. So if you want to represent and you're on a budget, that's a decent one. Also, what I'll give check this competition that I found.
Oh, go.
Right now we're new at the podcast game, so we're trying to get stuff.
We're trying to get the stuff set up.
We need the stuff to make the podcast better and sound better. And all the rest of it.
Just for you guys.
Found this competition hosted by podcast.co. And if you can find them on Twitter at podcast.co.
Right.
At podcast.co. And basically got a competition going at the minute to win everything you need to start up a podcast.
What do you have to do?
You just basically got to enter, put your name and email in, and you're entered.
So sweet.
We've entered.
Well, big shout out to him then.
Yeah, we've entered.
Big shout out.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We win.
Well, if next week it sounds a bit better, we won.
We know. Well, I don't even know when the end of the competition is, to be honest.
Right.
Also.
Thanks, guys. Don't forget us.
Yeah, well, we're doing good on the old followers, fans. I think we're getting a lot more people listening.
I'm happy with.
You can find us, and you can find old episodes as well. Like, we can say that now. We've got old episodes. We've got stuff like
coming up to the 10th anniversary.
10th episode.
Yeah, man.
We've got like conspiracy theories like Paul McCartney, Denver Airport, cults. Other stuff.
Cults,
Total cults. And you can find us on Anchor FM, iTunes, Stitcher, Castbox. Most of them, pretty much everything.
Yeah, my box.
Yeah. Also, I want to give big shout outs to Lisa in Salford, the Conspiracy Show, Mikey for helping last week.
Yeah, Mikey. Yeah, he was good last week.
Anybody else that you want to give a shout out to?
You know what? I want to give a shout out to all of our viewers because you've been great.
Oh, you're beautiful.
And we appreciate you listening to what we've got to say, and hopefully you'll spread the word. And this is a revolution.
Also,
started.
I want to give a big props to Mr. Collins as well.
Yes.
For going Stoptober. He's been on Stoptober this week and he's smashed it. Yeah, he's gone the whole week.
Oh, the whole week?
Whole week. Well,
good lad. Keep it going, man.
Yeah.
Has it got to last any longer?
I don't. The whole of October, I'm assuming.
The whole of October. October ain't even started yet.
Well, I don't know.
And he's already started it. Good on you. He's dedicated.
Yeah, that is dedicated.
Yeah, that's dedication to you.
Yeah.
Well, good on you.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he says he's doing it ahead of time, isn't he?
He is. He is.
Well,
he's cheating.
I just noticed on his tweets that he was a bit proud of it, so I thought I'd give him props. Do you know what I mean?
Man. Yeah.
I just assumed it was for Stoptober, but there you go.
Man.
Yeah. Well, anyway. That's pretty much it for tonight's episode of Never a Straight Answer.
Yeah, I think that's
hope you've enjoyed it. It's like I say, it burnt my head out trying to get all the facts, and I hope it's been kind of like, interesting, but has also made sense.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're just hearing me talk, me and Taylor talk a load of bollocks for a few hours. So
Yeah, well, yeah. I can talk. I mean, I've only just realised it a couple of years ago. I can fucking talk. But I've got a lot of knowledge to give out. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff that I've looked at. Yeah. And like fucking shots.
Just one more
thing. Not a lot of people know about.
Before we go, that podcast.co.
Yeah.
Right. They also put out a lot of advice and fact sheets about how to start a podcast if you wanted to start your own podcast.
Hey, yeah. There's always
I just forgot
time for you to start up your own podcast.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Do it about whatever you want. Do it about cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, you can start it from nothing, really.
Right.
So, just talking about your interests or hobbies, or you're into fishing, aren't you? Yeah. So, you could.
I reckon people that listen to podcasts.
I reckon people watch you on YouTube.
I said
or
that.
Any
you could
other
do
kind
a
of
YouTube
video
channel.
Yeah. What do you reckon? Do you reckon you should do it?
Come
on, we can do a deal, Lee. We can do a deal, Lee.
I've been Gaz.
50%, mate. And I've been Taylor.
And that's it for this episode of Never a Straight Answer.
See you later,
Hopefully see you again, and take care. Peace
out. Do you want to go to the toilet? I know Mikey did. I hope he didn't.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.